So, why did you freak out when it said something about Steve?
I gotta, because he knows.
Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was I mean, it was kind of like having a hot flash. That's the best way to describe it. And it was immediate.
Huh.
Because the communication that I had with Steve, the fact that it was kind of a discovery for me with the communication and the message that he needed to give to Lester before he left because he is no longer here.
Oh.
Yeah,
That was pretty intense for me. And I know he knows that. But I just had this immediate, so I didn't know exactly what was happening, what I was feeling. That's why I wanted to stop.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a little bit, not uncomfortable, just, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So did Steve tell Thomas about us? Any of us?
Well, Thomas has been hanging around. Thomas knows, from watching, he knows.
Mm-hmm.
But he had direct communication with Steve. He knew Steve.
Interesting.
So,
But I'm a little confused though with Thomas. If he died in the 70s, he would know what a semi-truck is, or what tractor trailer.
well, not necessarily. Not especially if he devoted his life. Because there was a strong, when he was talking to me about the railroad, and I was getting a lot of this in my head, his life was spent at the railroad.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason. I mean, it was like he was there all the time. I got from the impression of him that he was more kind of like very simpleton, I don't even know that they had TVs. I don't know that he had phones. I don't know that they actually had things like that. He was very, very kind of remote, if you will.
Yeah.
But his whole dedication, his whole life was to the railroad. But he did love his kiddos, and he did adore his wife, Margaret.
Did we ever get a last name? You did.
Horton.
Horton.
Like,
Jeez.
But that's
Yeah.
interesting to me though that he wanted to know my kids' names.
yeah, he really did. Truly wanted to know.
But why?
I don't know.
That's
Because I think sometimes too, it's kind of like when Aunt Betty comes and the conversation, it's so relaxed and it's just like having a conversation. Sometimes entities enjoy that. Not always. Sometimes they just don't want to communicate whatsoever.
yeah, we've known that.
But yeah,
We've had that happen.
but there are some that do. They just want to have a conversation. They enjoy that. So they want that communication. And I think that's why they appreciate and enjoy Aunt Betty so much, because she just talks to them like they're just sitting there on the bed just having a conversation with her.
I talked to him that
So
way.
yeah, and they enjoy that. They enjoy that. So, but
And some people wouldn't understand that when you're answering, it's not you.
no,
I mean, it's you, but I mean, you're answering what they're telling you in your head.
She's relaying what
Yeah.
they're
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
right. So, yeah, super nice guy, Thomas.
He sounds like it.
Super nice guy. Very, very, very super guy.
But that's neat though, is passing through and decided just to
Stay.
stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing here, anywhere, here, that's of his or his family. He loves it here.
Like us.
Yeah. So,
So you never know, maybe in 50 years there'll be 3 other people sitting down here doing what we're doing and we'll be talking with them.
yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be crazy obnoxious though. No, actually no, because we won't. I think all of us are going to, I think we're gonna embrace.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think all of us are very resolved. I know my relationship with the Lord and what it is, and
I know mine.
yeah.
Oh, we need to turn that light back on in the other room.
In here?
No, in the one we started down here.
Woo!
So sometimes it is just interesting watching you walk these buildings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not being mean, it's just like watching one, whoa!
I know. It's, oh, God. Wow,
That was really interesting.
yeah, it was. Seriously. He's a super nice man. I just get
Sounds
such
like
a,
it.
I get just such a, you know, that gut, that
Yeah.
where that just that, oh, you just like want to hug him. You know, you're just like, oh, you're a nice guy, really. But he was like, when I would like, God, and I mean, it was happening because I was like asking questions like, okay, so I'm gonna ask this question, and he's like, yeah, well, whatever, and he would answer the question in my head. Boom,
Wow.
it was like boom. So I'm like, oh, so like I could totally have a conversation, right?
And not have to say anything.
And not even have to say anything.
But then me and Joe be sitting over
I know, be like, hello, would you like to share? That's why I was like, you know, then started saying stuff, because I'm like, wow,